take a quick look at this beast. Perfect day out. Woo! Nice and playful. Stable for here, definitely. Little climbing challenge here. Oh! Oh, that's good and chunky. It handled that well. Man, right into the sunset.
What's up everyone? So I'm back here at Encina Bike Shop. Nelson was kind enough to let me take out the Stumpjumper EVO you see here behind me.
We're gonna take a look at this here. It's got the new 36, the XO1 build.
And this is the S4 size as well. So we're gonna take it back up to Lime Ridge. I did just ride my Mega Tower the last couple days, so it's kind of nice. I switched from the more trail cross-country bike to the enduro bike, and then this kind of fits in the middle with 150 in the rear and 160 up front. We'll see how she feels out on the trail. Here we go.
Yeah, right off the bat, I will say it's just a little lighter than the Mega Tower. It does definitely have a little bit of that trail bike feel still, so definitely feels plush. And yeah, let's see what happens on the dirt. We're out here at Lime Ridge now. I'm gonna get the climbing bit out of the way, tell you my thoughts as I go. And I can already tell you, just from coming up the road, it's definitely a little bit lighter under the feet to pedal than my Mega Tower that's about 34 and a half pounds. Pedaling efficiency is good. I do notice that it's more active. Might benefit from like a trail position or a climb switch. Oh yeah. So I just locked it out, and that definitely makes it feel less active, and so that's okay. Might need to just rely a little bit more on the shock tune and the lockout when you're climbing big days on a bike like this. But still really efficient, feels good. It still feels like a light trail bike under me, even though I feel the long legs of that enduro bike stretching out. So it's what I'm used to, it's what I like. So most enduro bikes are going to climb somewhat similar there. All right, well, made it up the majority of the climb, and I'm gonna give you my final 2 cents. For a 150, 160 enduro bike, it's very nimble, very lively, and her size, even for a longer reach bike than my Mega Tower, it's obviously a little bigger here in the cockpit. As far as pedaling efficiency goes, when you're actually pedaling or standing on the pedals, moving over terrain that's undulating, it does feel pretty active. You do use the suspension while you're pedaling, and you do feel that when you go to put in harder efforts. But like I said, you can still just lock it out or put in trail, and it feels pretty efficient. Just practicality for climbing an enduro bike, it feels pretty darn good. We'll leave it at that for now, and then we'll see how it goes further I get into this. The climbing abilities I was talking about previously, it comes down to more the suspension platform. It doesn't quite pedal uphill without a lockout like my Mega Tower does, where I'll climb hills no problem without a lockout on my Mega Tower, unless I'm on something steep and paved. Where this one definitely benefits more from having that trail and lockout position, just the way this suspension is designed over, say, my Mega Tower. This thing climbs a little bit better still than my Mega does, because it's just slightly lighter, and when you have it in the pedal position, it's just a bit more efficient, because it's not as much bike. Or yeah, if I didn't have a Mega Tower and I was looking for just one bike that was closer to the enduro that still gives me that sprightly trail feel. I'd say this bike's still not too far from trail to where it's only enduro. Definitely feels just nimble and active agile climbing, so I can only imagine how it's going to feel in just a second when we turn down. Just going to do the same descents that I did on the other bike just to keep it accurate, keep everything close for reference. So my feels are very similar. The only thing that's different is the bike. All right, let's do it. Okay, already just a little bit really not too much different actually so far. Oh, it's sandy. It's not as crazy different as I thought so far. Definitely a little more active, not so stiff and spacey as the Stumpy, the regular Stumpy. Okay, definitely a little more slow and planted, not so energetic and spacey or racy feeling. Just off the bat, it's actually a little slower than the Stumpy was, but not crazy different feeling geometry wise. Obviously it's a very similar bike, but just a little more planted, just very plush. So it does feel like as soon as I hit some chunky stuff, it's got much more of an open feel. It's not going to be so spring-like like the Stumpjumper was. So it is 20 extra millimeters of travel. Let's see how it goes here on this stone. All right, this is Thorn Alley. It's my third time here, so here we go. Thank you. A little bit of traffic today. It's a perfect day out. Woo! Nice and playful. Very cool and not so prone to wind damage. Can be a little more planted. It's not blowing around as much, I mean. It's hard to see. Oh yeah. Definitely more planted. Those big compressions. Ah, sweet. Okay. Very cool. Got some feelings to mull over right now. Definitely not near as fast on the flat ground trying to pedal. It uses its travel, and definitely is more active when you're standing and sprinting than that other Stumpy without the horse link rear end. Bear with me, I'm tired. Hello? Hi. Yeah, so when you have the suspension open, you're bombing downhill, you hit a flat section, you need to pedal. It uses its travel much more than maybe you'd like it to, just because of how open it is and how good it feels when you go over rough stuff. So yeah, it's just older school suspension design, really. But let's see. So yeah, not quite bottom actually. It's pretty decent. I took a big compression too, so front's just about perfect. I got plenty left there. So it's not because it doesn't have the right air. It definitely feels supportive, but when you go to smash on the pedals on flat ground, it's just not going to scoot forward under you the same way that bikes with better pedaling characteristics will. Very planted though, so it wasn't getting blown around as much by the wind. It's not so delicate feeling underneath me. I feel like I can press into chunkier stuff and really rail turns without it feeling floppy or very light, and that's kind of nice that it has that planted feel. So it's cool because it still feels similar to a trail bike. The geometry didn't feel crazy different descending from bike to bike. So from the 130, 140 Stumpjumper to this 150, 160 Stumpjumper EVO, the geometry, the characteristics, the bike fit didn't feel drastically different, which is nice. And I like to see that there's still some adjustment options you have to really fine tune and tinker with on this model at least. So yeah, it's a very cool bike. Let's see what it does on the next run. All right, gonna take this up to back 9 and give it a try on this trail. More stable through here, definitely. There we go again. Try to pedal and just feel a little more active. Very precise though. On your right, you're good. High speed. Yeah, definitely more stable. Phew. Alright, nice. Definitely a nice fun bike. Let's see. Got closer to the bottom, both front and rear, and it feels pretty balanced. Now I'm getting used to it. Good test. Let's go up for one more. Well, it's getting kind of dark and late. I'm gonna try this one last little climb challenge I was trying on the other bike the other day. Let's see. Come on. Oh. All right, second try. Oh, oh, I nearly made it. Oh, that's good enough for today. So it's actually, I don't know why, but the bigger travel and having a little bit more active suspension sometimes keeps it tracking. Whereas XC bikes are so light and sprinty that, I don't know, I can't explain that. This thing just beat the original one up with that little challenge. Could just be the day. Anyhow, shows this thing can still climb if you have some power. That's a good sign. All right, last run of the day, and that's all, folks. It's gorgeous. All right, here we go. Oh, sorry, just me. Little chunkier trail there. Woo! Oh yeah. Oh, that's good and chunky. It handled that well. Oh, so sandy. It's like skiing. Man, this thing's playful for a big travel bike. Still feels like a playful bike. Whew. Sandy. Oh man, that's good. Oh wow, just laid into these turns so good. This place is cool. Very precise bike. Feels active but nimble. Precise though. Man, right into the sunset. Woo. This thing's a little laser beam. Tracks well. Nice. We have one more downhill to think about. Okay, last little hoorah here. Finish with some thoughts. All right. All right. It's a good back-to-back test. I'm glad I did that. Yeah, bikes aren't crazy different. This one definitely feels more plush and active. It's really good to try these bikes within a couple of days. Rode my Mega Tower in the middle and got a good feel for the lineup.
And with that, I'm just going to conclude with a few voiceover thoughts on the bikes and my experience. Basically, if it was me buying one, I would be looking at the standard Stumpjumper of 130 to 140 travel, because the geometry of these two bikes are very similar. I'd have a little bit more fun on that lighter weight, set it and forget it kind of standard Stumpjumper, whereas I'd probably enjoy the EVO more if I didn't have a Mega Tower or an enduro bike already. And I wanted to have a bike that was close to a trail bike that I could still adjust and play with settings wise and have the ability to have two bikes in one.
Hey, you made it.
I made it back.
Dude, I forgot you were still out there.
Yeah. Thanks more than anything for letting me use it and try it. That was perfect.
Stumpy?
Huh? What?
Is that in the Stumpy?
No, actually, I like the other one better because they feel really close. The other one feels more like a cross-country bike, like it feels alive.
Okay.
This one just feels like when you go to sprint on it, it feels like more travel than it needs for the trail bike it's kind of trying to be, so.